As we automatically know, from every point of beingness, from the very consciousness of ourselves, to come into this divine sacred equilibrium of perfect balance and anchored peace, as we intend to anchor into our divinity. And as such, the very intention to be of service, the very intention of moving upon your path of light and love. Already all parts of your beingness, simply from this awareness, simply from this intention, comes into a unified field, a sacred space for this to happen. And so the physical biology automatically comes into this alignment through the sacred breath. And with each rise and fall of our chests, a divine, sacred, and holy rhythm is established consciously. And it aligns with the higher frequency, the higher dynamics beyond space and time. As we begin to transverse those parts of ourselves that are infinite, that are wise, all-knowing. And so the body knows to establish itself in this sacred moment of balanced peace and anchored peace. So we breathe the sacred in-breath and out-breath with full intention, as we remember the power of the breath. We remember that the breath is the animating thing that moves the physical biology. It is the animating thing that connects all things, all creation. In the multiplicity and the magnificence beyond human understanding, we yet know that it is the breath that is the one in-breath and out-breath of the Creator. And so with this remembering and holy alliance, this sacred breath in its highest level begins to circulate in and through our field. The oxygen that we breathe within a three-dimensional world is overlaid with light codes of the higher breath, from the higher chi, the prana, known by many names, now comes in its highest frequency of light, circulating into the breath. In its higher octave, it moves into the biology, refreshing, reviving, balancing, healing, purifying, and bringing the biology, even in its most densest form, into a higher alignment of peace and balance. And this form utilizes us as such, as we are within this three-dimensional world. But it reminds us we are not limited to this three-dimensional world. And so we breathe with full awareness, full consciousness, the sacred in-breath and out-breath, that we breathe the breath of Brahma, we breathe the breath of God, circulating through us, in our physical, mental, and emotional body, but we also are aware of the divine higher breath that encirculates us from the higher dimensional realms of light. And it is that circulation, as we intend now to breathe consciously, this higher light that flows in through the Antakarana, the divine sacred tube, the connection of heaven and earth. And as it moves in as sacred holy breath, it removes all debris, all distortions, miscreations, as it filters from the highest spiritual realms of light, coming in as a brilliant light, golden white. It has a mission, it has a purpose, and it has a destination. And its destination comes through the crown chakra, into the physical chakras of the physical body, moving throughout the tailbone, throughout the legs, through the nervous system, circulating through the beating heart, into very lying crystals that are within the blood that moves, nourishes, and helps to animate the biology. It indeed moves into the emotional body, and it brings in a calmness, and it brings in a balance. It soothes and it heals. And as a great depth of an ocean, it moves deep, deep, deep into the emotional body. And as we hold this perfect balance and this anchored peace, this divine grace moves into all layers and aspects of our beingness, even as we hold a physical, mental, and emotional body. For the physical, the mental, and emotional body, beloveds, are connected to the higher subtle bodies of which you are a part. And in this now moment, as you hold the frequency of the higher heart of compassion and unconditional love, as you establish within yourself that perfect balance and anchored peace, this grace goes very deep and penetrates into the emotional body and all that it is connected to. And as it goes into the depths of the emotions that you carry, not only for yourself, but indeed for the lineages of your ancestry, and indeed the lineages of all humanity, allowing yourself to be an open vessel container for deep-seated healing of humanity to be healed through you. And so each and every holy, sacred in-breath and out-breath anchors this grace and this blessing that flows here now. And indeed, it is in the emotional body that most samsara is established. And so it is the emotional body that the intention and the focus is, but is connected to the higher heart of compassion, unconditional love. It is connected to the emotions of the highest and yet the lowest in vibration. And so it is in this highest overlaying of light, coming in through now from the higher celestial realms of light onto the sacred in-breath and out-breath, to be able to move without distortion into the emotional body, into the depths of what that is. In this lifetime and many other lifetimes, in this multiplicity of trajectories, in this timeline and in others, opening up the whole multi-dimensional expression of the divine human, moving in through this aspect of the biology, of the physical, the mental, and the emotional. See clearly here now, beloveds, as this great work of alchemy takes place, as you have held a higher heart of compassion and unconditional love, as you have walked your path of light and love, as you have followed your soul pulse, and in the various ways that you serve to uplift the world, even as you occupy a physical, mental, and emotional embodiment. And indeed, it is in this now moment that we focus on the emotions of the physical biology. For the physical biology is not independent on its own, it is integrated still and yet with the higher versions of its creation. And so together we use the sacred in-breath and out-breath in this now moment to align with the heart, the emanation of the very center of the multiverse of this great creator of all creations, emanating, pulsing, radiating love. And as it moves in all directions, moving through emanations of various dimensions, realms, and expressions of the One, as it clears, as it realigns, supports, anchors this pulsing, ever living light in the undulating waveforms of unconditional love, reaching in this now moment to all those here connected through the heart and mind who have chosen to walk their path of light in a world of choice. And so here in this now moment, this sacred in-breath and out-breath serves as a spiritual tool to incorporate and to dispense the higher light codes, moving in and through all aspects of being, but deep into the many layers of the emotional body. And as you breathe the sacred in-breath and out-breath, as you breathe it for yourself and choose here now to breathe it for all humanity and indeed all life upon the sacred earth, as you allow the divine sacred overlaying of divine codes of the higher bodies and indeed the highest of the absolute worlds, paradise worlds, the crystalline worlds, moving in as a spiraling breath deep into the emotions that you hold individually and collectively. And as you can imagine in your spiritual eye, looking at a great body of water, one of the great seas and oceans of the planet, And you see the turbulence and the waves that are there. But as you choose to go deeper, and as you open to healing on the depths of your emotional body, and as you choose to breathe deep into the emotions, you go deep to where it is now still and it is balanced. And it is here, beloveds, we do our great work. And in the stillness of this cosmic ocean, away from the upper turbulence and disturbances, you choose to bring the frequency of stillness, of balance and peace, deep, deep into the oceans of the emotion that you hold. And so each and every holy in-breath and out-breath pierces through more deeper levels of healing, of insight and understanding. So we breathe the sacred in-breath and out-breath together as one unified field and singularity of unconditional love. Bring in these higher light codes of perfect balance and anchored peace into the depths of the emotional body. The emotional body that is part of the human emotional body, that is part of the sacred earth emotional body. And we incorporate both the past and the present. And we see this light from the highest source of perfect balance and anchored peace, rays of light, rainbow light within the diffusion of light coming as white and gold. For each ray frequency has a purpose and has a healing aspect. And so we hold ourselves as the sacred containers at the depths of our own emotional body, to be blended into the human emotional body, to be blended into the world emotional body, to be into the cosmic body. We breathe the sacred in-breath and out-breath in these holy sacred codes of grace flowing in through us for our own balance, for our own healing, for that of our ancestry, for that of the whole human race and beyond. For all living things to have that perfect balance and that anchored peace. We breathe consciously, moving it throughout the entire planet. It moves from the smallest atomic and subatomic frequencies to the most dense, moving in with each and every single in-breath and out-breath, overlaid by the higher frequency codes of the cosmic in-breath and out-breath, bringing balance, bringing peace, bringing the purification and the alignment. We breathe consciously into the depths of the emotional body. We breathe with the intention of balance and the calm, the stillness and the void of all possibilities. And in this void of all possibilities, we hold the intention of balance. We hold the intention of peace. We hold the intention of healing. And now, as much as we are in this perfect balance and anchored peace, in this flow of divine grace, balancing our emotion, uplifting all parts of ourselves, we put forth an intention to continue this great work for all humanity, the planet and all of her life, to the healing of the deep wounds within the emotional body. It is sacred overlighting with each and every in-breath and out-breath that we take, including in our dream state, this continued sacred holy work. And so now we prepare ourselves to be back awake and alert. And as such, the energy begins to step down. Our focus comes into being back fully in our physical, mental, and emotional bodies, even as the work continues in the emotional body. On the count of 3, we will intend to be back, awake, fully alert, and grounded. 1, 2, take a deep breath in, and 3, we are back, awake, alert, and we are grounded.